Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Cats TV. And again, I'm joined by Claudio from Sky Blue Fans TV. How you doing, Claudio?
I'm very well, Mike. Yourself?
I would have been better if we were playing Sheffield United or Bristol, but
That's good to hear.
what a race for the playoffs at the end. All came down to the last game, didn't it?
Yeah, we made hard work of it. We were sat in a good position for a few good games, and I wouldn't say we sort of turned it off, or whatever, but we just struggled to get the results away from home. We played 4 of the bottom 5 and got 1 point.
Yeah.
It went to the last game. Yes.
Plymouth were turning everyone over towards the end of the season, though, weren't they? They were getting some shock results towards the end. You lost 3-1 to Plymouth, lost 1-0 to Luton, but then you beat Middlesbrough on the last day when the fate was in their own hands for Middlesbrough. Did you expect to get in the playoffs? Were you confident of it?
I must admit, when we beat you 3-0 at our place, I think we went into 5th, and I was hoping we'd push on from there and just secure it 2 or 3 games later, because there was about 7 games left, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
8 games left. But we struggled, like I said, and in the end I expected to get there because of our home form. And Middlesbrough, I know their fans just did not want to play us on the last day because for some reason we just got this bit of a jinx over them at the minute. The thing is, there had to be a lot of things that went against us not to get into the playoffs, and one of them was to lose, basically.
Yeah.
That was the main one. If we lost, we're out of it. Even the point, we looked at it as fans and we thought, you know what, if we get a point, and in the end, a point would have been enough on Saturday to get into the playoffs.
I mean, Coventry fans, you had a bit of a up and down strange season, hadn't you? The first time we spoke, you lost your manager that very day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
we came, and of course, we were 2 down, weren't we? And you still couldn't beat us. So,
rubs it in. Look at that.
No, but we had. I won't say we struggled because we couldn't score and we kept conceding was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Mark Robins got sacked after the Derby game. We were dire that night. We were absolutely terrible, and we lost to a Derby team who hadn't won away from home.
Yeah.
So the writing was on the wall, and I think it was going to happen. I think it probably would have happened a month earlier, but we got a decent result at Middlesbrough, and we came back from behind to beat Luton. So we had a state of execution, basically.
Being where you are now,
yeah,
happy with the manager change?
Yeah, I think we needed a change. I mean, I wasn't. It was one of those because we weren't ever thinking about changing the manager. You kind of don't know what's out there, do you? You haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
So when Frank Lampard came along, I didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, his track record's not that bad, but he's not Mark Robins, so there's a lot of backlash, I would say, for our owner. But looking at it now...
Yeah, it's always that ex-player, isn't it? When it's a Premier League player, it's always like, how are they going to do?
Yeah, and also it's down to the backroom staff. I think the problem was with Mark Robins, he lost his backroom staff and he didn't really replace them. And the people who came in just weren't up to the job.
Yeah.
And our chairman, owner said, as far as he was concerned, we've got a squad good enough to get into the top 6. Now, saying that when you're 17th and we're playing awful, some of the fans went, "What are you talking about? It's terrible." But, we had 10 wins in 12, and we're breaking record crowd attendances now at the CBS week on week. It's just balmy at the minute.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you're going to set up for these playoffs. I mean, have you got players out and stuff like that? I know you've got a couple of injuries, right, at the moment. Or do you think you've got your strongest 11 ready?
Well, Victor Torp's out injured at the end of the season. Our keeper's missing Dovin, which is a shame because he was in good vein of form.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is missing? Bissett was a bit of an injury, but he was on the bench again, I think. We're almost at full strength. The key players are going to be playing on Saturday. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Because I mean, you've been kind of our bogey team for a long time. We've not won at our place against Coventry since 2007, and we've not beat you at your place since 1985.
which is astonishing, isn't it?
It's unreal. It's unreal. What a record. So you guys must be confident. What's the fan confidence like?
I would say we wanted fifth because we wanted to play yourselves.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with any sort of rivalry from 77 and the game that was delayed. It's just the fact that we got such a good record.
Yeah.
And we'd have felt the same, probably like you might be feeling, if we'd have played Preston or Swansea, because apart from this season, we could never beat them. And you're kind of thinking over 2 legs, if you go 1-0 down, that's game over. So I think, and also what I find strange is I reckon us playing at home first is a big advantage because of the situation, of the fact that you've had 5 games in a row where you've lost, you've hardly scored a goal. It seems like all this tinkering hasn't really helped. And you're coming to us, and we've been playing really well at home. We've won. It's the most games we've won at home since 1987.
Yeah.
It's astonishing, the home form. I've now said that we'll probably get battered. The key is, with the playoffs, if you can get your noses in front in the first leg, especially at home, you can then shut the door, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I did say. I mean, we all said that we don't want to play Coventry. We were kind of hoping you wouldn't make the playoffs when you had that bit of a dip in form. But I said, if we're going to play them, I think I'd rather have 2 legs. Because even if we can't win at your place, we're not doing bad for draws at your place. If we can hold out for a draw in that first leg, that's when we have our chance. But the form is just terrible at the moment.
Well, our previous last 2 playoff semi-finals, we drew both at home, then we won away. So it's bizarre. Each time we played home first. I'd imagine with your fans, though, with the men and women who are coming down, that if you go 1 down, they might start being a bit grumbly and a bit anxious because you're probably thinking, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We expected some sort of revival in the last 2 games where he threw everything out there, put 2 up front, got some goals behind us to get us a bit of momentum and a bit of crowd behind the lads before we go into playoffs. And the last game was just as embarrassing. We played better in the last game, just cannot finish. Cannot finish at all.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like an epidemic, isn't it? Once one player can't finish, they all seem to miss the target. We had it all at the start of the season. It was we had I think we're in the top 6 with chances, and we're like in the top 6 we're missing the chances. It was ridiculous. All the XGs, every game was 2 point something, and yet we weren't scoring goals. And at one stage, we were saying every time somebody has a shot, it's a goal, and that's what was happening.
Yeah, our striking coach is Michael Proctor. He never scored for Sunderland. He only scored an own goal, and he's teaching. So it tells you everything you need to know there. I keep saying we've changed the players, we've changed the manager. The only thing that's not changed at Sunderland, and we constantly have these bad runs of form, is the backroom staff. It's the same staff that Beale had mostly, and it's very few changes happened. So I think that's the factor in this. I don't know what's happening on the training ground, but it's not appearing on the pitch.
So what was the fans' reaction after you lost at our place 3-0?
Oh, well, I mean, we're Sunderland fans. We're kind of used to it, but it was definitely it was kind of an acceptance, we can't beat Coventry. Coventry are our bogey team. And that's kind of all just come about after that as well. And like I say, you look back at the records, we're not beating you. It's not like this is like some obscure team. We've played each other many times, and we've not beaten you at your place since 1985. You know, it's absolutely insane. So but the worrying thing is that's in all the fans' heads. Is it in the players' heads? That's the question.
See, I know they say it doesn't matter because it's another game for the players, but I think anxiety filters down. Against Middlesbrough, we started well. The crowd, it's the best atmosphere I've heard up there. It's really improved over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And you felt we were all as one behind the team. Now, I've been at games where you've got a decent crowd and it's not going well, and it feels like you're all against the team, and it doesn't help. So I'm thinking if we can just get ahead early, the pressure's on then. I mean, I know it's over 2 games, but you know, 1 goal can quickly become 2 or 3 when it's all going against you, which it did the first time we played you. When we played the game at the CBS.
Our fans are usually great at that. They're usually well behind the team. I've been at a game where Everton's beating us 5-0 and we're still singing about beating Newcastle 6 in a row at the time and stuff like that. And the atmosphere has always been great at away games. But this poor run of form and obvious mistakes and very strange management. So we've got conspiracy theorists now in Sunderland who think Reggie Labree's done this on purpose.
Right.
So it's giving everyone like Coventry false confidence. And suddenly he's going to be a tactical genius when we go into the playoffs. I think they're giving him a bit more credit than he probably should have, because we're losing 1-0 and he brings on 2 defensive players. That's the changes he makes. It's really odd what's happened in these last 5 games, and I don't know what's happening.
Well, we're hoping 09 plays, because he's played against us 13 times. He's never won.
Well, he will be. I guarantee you he'll be on the pitch.
He was at Wycombe Wanderers, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, well, he's a lucky charm for us, but yeah, maybe not against Coventry. So who would you want to face in the final? Would you have preferred to face us in the final down at Wembley, or who would you like out the 2?
When I looked at it a few months ago, I kind of wanted to finish 5th to play whoever was 4th, but obviously that was going to be you, because I'm thinking we could really do with whoever finishes 6th beating Sheffield United, and then all of a sudden, and it must be the same for you. You must think, oh, as long as we're not playing Sheffield United, because over 2 legs are going to be hard to beat. But then if they lose to whoever's 6th, you've got a good chance of getting promoted.
Yeah. I mean, they had a dip of form as well. All the top teams had a dip of form towards the end of the season.
Well, they had a week of it, didn't they? Basically, lost 3 games in a row, was it, or something like that?
Yeah.
But Bristol City, we've, I think recently we've won 10. I think we've drawn 2 and lost 2 at home, and they've won 10, drawn. They've got the best home record in the last half of the season. We're second, above Leeds and Burnley, which I find bizarre that we've managed to do that. And I think that's the key in this game. I say that it could end up 0-0 and we win at your place 1-0, or vice versa. You could end up winning at our place, we win at yours.
It is a roll of the dice in the playoffs. It's different from the league, right? It's always different. There's a different mentality going in, so we can only see on the day. If you do beat us, touch wood, hopefully not, Sunderland fans. But if you do go through to the final and you win, is your team ready for the Premier League? Or is it going to be a complete overhaul?
Yeah, of course not. But who is? Who's ready? I don't think anybody's ready apart from the top 2, maybe Sheffield United. Well, I'm not even sure Sheffield United are. After what happened last season, how they bombed out the Premier League. No, we're not ready at all.
No.
We're not bringing players. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Without any stretch of the imagination, we have to do Nottingham Forest, basically. It depends how desperate you want to stay in there. But I think our owner, once he gets in there, he might get a knock on the door from Mike Ashley as soon as he owns the ground. So,
oh dear, that's not good.
Well, we need someone with big backing who can maybe come in. But from what I gather, Doug King likes to do it on his own. But I think we need big investment to stay in that league.
Have you got many players that could hold to a Premier League standard? Or
yeah, I do. I think Ben Sheaf, once he's up and running, Milan, the keeper is injured, could do.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to say, because there's players from Ipswich I thought would do really well, some of the ones they signed, and when you see them, you just look at their depth, don't they?
See, our worry is we do a whole city where we've put all this investment in, we don't go up, and then all of a sudden next season we plummet down. They only just staved off relegation hole, didn't they? Because they tried to go for it and didn't quite make it. So if you don't go up, do you think it'll have you overspent or anything, or do you think the team's in a good position either way?
No, I think we go again. I'm quite confident we will, to be honest. We've got players who are on long-term contracts.
Yeah.
Talking about players, Jack Rodoni has been sensational this season.
And
he was relegated with Huddersfield last year. So, and we were a bit thinking, we've got another player who's been relegated, but slowly but surely, game on game, he's got better and better, and he's almost like Frank Lampard-esque, the way he runs into the box and scores these goals, keeps getting in there.
Yeah.
So he's one to look out for on Friday night. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Did you expect Leeds and Burnley to go up at the start of the season?
Yeah, it's funny that because I got my predictions here from our podcast, and I got my predictions were Burnley actually top, then Leeds, and then the next four was us third, Luton, Middlesbrough, and Sunderland. I got you as sixth.
So we were still in there.
I'm right about who we're playing in the semi-final of the playoffs.
that's not bad guessing, to be fair. I mean, I think one of our lads predicted sixth, and I think I was the eternal optimist going first, maybe second, but first.
But I mean, you had. I've been praising Sunderland quite a lot this season, and we've ended up 7 points behind you, which I find incredible considering we were way behind you at one stage. And but you've had that great start, and if we'd have had the start you had, we'd have been up there with you. We'd been battling for fourth, maybe third.
Yeah. See, this is what we were trying to explain. We had a podcast with another fan as well the other day, and we said if this season was completely reversed, if we had this terrible run of form at the start, and then we'd come into the playoffs and finished on the same points and everything like that, but with a decent run, we'd be singing the praises. It's because it's at the very end that it's just really, it's a weird place to be in, because I don't think any fan is optimistic, even though we're in the playoffs. It's odd.
Well, yes, and I think because we won Saturday, and it's given us another lift, because after the Luton game, it wasn't great because we got the point. It was just a stupid mistake at the end by a keeper. And it sort of gives you a lift going into the next game. Whereas you guys, you must be thinking, what's under the defeat? That can't be good.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, right, go on. We'll do it. We'll give us your score. I'll tell you mine first as a Sunderland fan. My score predictions on our podcast the other day was 1-1 in the first leg and us eking a 2-1 win in the second leg. Now, funnily enough, 40-odd people in the chat at the time, all like 80% of them said a draw for the first leg as well. So lots of people predicting a draw. What's your perspective? 6-0 both legs, or?
I think we'll go through overall, and I wouldn't be surprised. I know what Cover like that we could win 3-0 at our place, and we end up losing 2-0 at your place, and it's like a backs to the wall. 90 minutes of just booting the ball off the pitch. Basically, I can see it being like that.
Yeah. But you don't have to worry about that because we can't shoot, so we'll just be.
But it's funny because you say you haven't beaten us since 1985 at home, at our place. You got relegated that season, and the season before you then was 1977 that you beat. You got relegated that season as well.
At least we're not getting relegated this season. But my fear is if we don't go up, we've got so many good players that Premier League teams are chomping at the bit for. We can't. We could have staved them off in summer. We can't stave them off at the end of the season. We're gonna have to rebuild.
I mean, historically, it's balmy. The fact that the size of the club Sunderland is, that you've only beaten us twice since 1977.
It's mad, isn't it?
I mean, I know there was a fair few years we didn't always play each other because we sort of kept swapping divisions, and you dropped down and we dropped down, and we went up, then you went up, that sort of thing. It's, but it's astonishing. I think out of all you'd say, the clubs who get fans of 35,000 plus, say, for some reason we've got this thing over Sunderland, which is mad because I've seen Forest Green Rovers win at CBS.
Yeah.
They did the double over us.
Yeah. So, I mean, one last thing. You mentioned the keeper. So, do you reckon that's your weakest link at this stage?
Well, I've got a feeling you're going to see a performance and a half by our keeper because it's Ben Wilson, who's a Sunderland fan, and he's from your way, and he's never played at Stadium of Light as well, so he'll be playing in goal. It's been massive for him. So it'll be interesting. I think Ben's a character, and he was with us when we got to playoffs last time. He had the record clean sheets for the club. I think it was 22 or 23 for the season. And he's a character, and he's a sort of player right now we need in the changing room, I think. So
yeah,
I'm happy with Ben in goal. He isn't the best. He's not brilliant, but there's something about him that will do the job when needed, basically. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, that's it for my questions. Have you got anything for me before you go?
Well, it's basically how your younger players are faring up, because you've got quite a young squad. Are they still all in the midfield, or has he mixed it up now?
Well, we got Enzo Lafie, which is a complete coup. The fact we got him as a player, he's an absolute quality player. He's not got the players around him he needs. So we've still got Job and Rig in the centre. We were the two young ones, but they're both the ones that are, Job's just played for England, Rig as well, and they're both really good players. But they're not consistent. I think that's what we're missing. It's a young team, and we have got a couple of old heads in there, but we're missing that leadership character. I think every fan would give his right arm to have a player like Catamol on the pitch during playoffs.
Yeah,
a proper leader, because some Sunderland fans rate him, and I know you guys will give me stick out there, but our captain is the biggest flaw in our whole team.
Right.
Dan Neil, on a good day, he'll look like Messi, but that's once every 7 games.
And most games, he just looks messy.
yeah. Most of the time, he just is messy. And when he's a captain and he's been sent off in the past for not being able to let something go and giving the ref stick, that's not a good leadership example. He can't pass 10 yards. He tries to run straight at players that he's clearly not going to be able to take on. And it's just, and every time he gets subbed off now, I'm like, yeah, but because he's the captain, it's almost like he's bought his place in that team. So
also
5 performances, he'll still start in the playoffs.
Also, Mike, do you think you've run out of steam though because of the start you had? Because that's what it looks like to me.
I don't know what it is. I really don't, because it's like, I tell you what feels like it's missing is a voice in the dressing room, like you say. And most people don't think it is the case. Dodds left and he went to manage, and he wasn't a great manager, and he's not been doing very good in his manager role now. But since he left, we've not had that same bite after half time, going 1-0 down. We come out and give it all. We wait till the last 10 minutes of a game, and then all of a sudden we look like a team. We're like, where were you for 80 minutes of the game? It's weird, and it's not energy levels. It's nothing like that. Most of the players have had some sort of rest, whether it's been hamstring or just, sat laid up for a few games. I just think there's something mentally broken.
So is Dan Ballard, is he going to be playing, do you think?
See, the thing is, I think everyone would love to see him start. However, Mepin is an absolute asset. Great centre-back. Great centre-back. And when people play the long ball especially, he reads it so well. So the ideal defence for me, the two centre-backs, would be Mepin and Ballard. And every Sunderland fan, 90% of them, will say the same. Luke O'Nine's great, but he's a midfielder. He's played centre-back for this entire season, but he's a midfielder. But he seems to have, again, a player that's bought himself into that position, and he is good in it, but he's not a centre-back like Ballard is. We had 9 corners in the last game in the first half. No one got anything on it. Ballard came on for like 20, 30 minutes at the end, got 2 headed opportunities and nearly scored.
Yeah, because Luke O'Nine had a nightmare at our place. Haji Wright tore into him, didn't he? He just couldn't cope the size and physicality of him. But at the minute, Haji Wright's playing out on the left wing again, and we've got Ellis Sims down the middle at the minute, who he's not fired anything this season. He's had a fairly below average season, really.
But again, somebody who's played at Sunderland before.
You're expecting him to score then, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we were thinking the last time, but I don't think he got on the pitch. Did he get on the pitch last time? I don't think he got on the pitch last time, did he?
Right at the end, I think.
Yeah, possibly. But the problem with 09 is if somebody has got him in his pocket, is he's liable to do something stupid.
Yeah, well, they've got
and get himself a card.
They've got John Busby for the first game.
The
referee, he's quite officious, and at your place it's Andrew Madley, which would be interesting.
Right, okay. To be honest, I don't think there's many championship referees I've rated this season. It's been so hit and miss.
He's meant to be a top Premier League ref, so it'd be interesting to see what they're like without the VAR.
That's the problem, right? They're used to that VAR. So, yeah.
Well, the ref against Middlesbrough we had, and I can't remember his name now. It's from Nuneaton. So basically in the same district where the ground is. We thought it was amazing.
That's like Sunday League, isn't it? Ring the closest referee.
Well, a lot of people in our forums are going, "Oh yeah, his dad used to referee us. He's on the North Warwickshire Refereeing Association." Weird appointment, but he was really good.
Yeah, I just hope I just hope they let it flow a bit, because there's nothing worse than constant stoppages and these 13 minutes added time games and stuff like that. And I feel like this first leg is like a band-aid, and I just want it to be ripped off.
Yeah.
Conrad's left me on my own to do the commentary. He's actually going to the second leg as well. So I'm doing commentary for both games on my channel, and I've just got a sinking feeling it's going to be like ripping a band-aid off this first game.
Well,
if we've got any chances, it's second.
I mean, and of course, a referee decision, a sending off, something like that, anything early like we had against Luton, can change the whole game completely. It's a different game then, isn't it? So
that's it.
I think we'll come out and we'll be on top in the first game, and we'll probably just scrape through because our away form's not great. And this is my worry, you see, because if we're playing the first game at the Stadium of Light, I'll be thinking, we could lose this 2-0. We'll struggle to get that back at home.
Yeah, see, I worry that we'll go in with the same mentality because we're useless at parking the bus. We can't go to your place and sit back and just absorb because we can't do it. We don't do it well. We give players too much space around the box. No team gives us that kind of space. We give them like Premier League kind of space, and you know what I mean? And yeah, if we sit back and try and absorb pressure, I expect 2-3-0 to you guys, but
I mean,
still going to go 1-1.
The two-leg matches, though, it's the classic. Don't lose the first game. Give yourself a chance in the second game at least, and that's the key. It'd be interesting. The atmosphere is going to be electric. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. We sold out. We sold out straight away, and I know you guys have sold out. We sold out our away allocation within about 2 hours this afternoon.
Yeah. We ours has gone straight away. It's very popular. I think if we have Mundell fit, which we've seen clips of him training, Lafee is back on the pitch and fit, and we start Meander over Isidore, I think that's our best chance. Yeah, but again, Isidore's good, but he's not been firing at all. So if we start him, it's not really the best message.
He never started against us last time, did he?
No.
He came off on, It's going to be interesting. And to be honest, in November, although a lot of people said, I still think we can do it. And in all honesty, we're only 7 points off the playoffs in November when he got the sack, Mark Robbins. Yeah. But it just didn't feel like we were playing good enough to get anywhere near the playoffs. So this is a bonus, really. Absolute bonus.
Yep, and whoever's left behind gets to play Wrexham and see Ryan Reynolds next season.
We've got a lot of Midland derbies if we stay in the division, with Leicester coming down as well.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Who's coming up?
The problem is next season, the teams that are coming down, it's going to be even harder this league.
Yeah.
So
we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me, Claudio. I don't wish you any luck whatsoever in the playoffs, but I wish you the best of luck in general. And let's not do this again for a while. I'm joking. No, hopefully. I've
got a feeling we'll both be sat here next season.
This is it. This might happen again. We might all be completely wrong and Sheffield United go up, but hopefully one of us goes up. I really hope one of us goes up. That's what I'll say. But
it'd be great to see Chris Wilder not in the actual playoff final. It'd be hilarious, I think. Absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Always a silver lining.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Thank you very much for everyone watching. Really appreciate Claudio coming on. Go and check out Sky Blues Fans TV, and you can follow along. Try not to give them too much stick in there if we do win, and just hide if we don't. Thanks for joining me, Claudio, and everyone else. We'll see you in another video really soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.